Hello everyone. Today we're going to have an interview with Daniela Hezinova, Czech rider from the water sled team from the Deutschland, the Netherlands. How are you, Daniela?
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm good, thank you.
Okay. We'll start with a little test with some facts about you. So first of all, your full name,
So my name is Daniela Hezinova.
your birthday,
My birthday is 30th of January 2007.
then where you were born.
So I was born in Prague, but I currently live in the Netherlands, but my whole childhood I lived in nearby village in Lone. So that's north of Czechia.
And right now you're living in the Netherlands because of cycling.
Yeah, exactly.
And how many years are you living in there?
This year is the second year, so for 2 years almost.
So since you started your junior years,
Exactly.
and you are like in a home of the water slide team, or
Yeah, last year I was living in a team house because we have like a big park here with a lot of athletes. So I was living in a team house with my team, but this year I moved into my own apartment, still in the park, but in my own.
okay. I'm curious about the water slide team, but I don't know if as you now or when we finish the test. I'll let you now. Okay, it's a like a very international team, no? With a lot of riders from different countries.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
So it's like maybe the biggest team there is right now at junior level for women's.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's the most interesting one.
And they do like scouting worldwide and they take the best under 17 riders, or how does it function?
Yeah, I think we do a scouting as well, but also a lot of girls that are in the team just contact the team straight away if it's possibility to get here. So yeah.
Okay, and your case, what it was?
In my case, I was put here from some different team for my development and to get proper races because in Czechia we don't race that much. So obviously Netherlands is the home of cycling, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's the best option.
So you started straight away last year in your first year junior, no?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
exactly.
Well, now we continue with the test. Your height, I want to know. How tall are you?
My height is 168 centimeters.
Okay, and your weight?
My weight is currently 49 kilos.
So, what type of rider you will say you are?
Um, it's kind of hard question because I think in junior cycling it's really hard to tell because we're pretty young still. But by my opinion, I'm more like a climber puncher type of rider. But I can be fast in a sprint as well, and yeah, I can climb pretty well. But in junior cycling, we don't climb that much, so it's still hard to tell, I would say.
Yeah, you still have to see how it goes in a long climb, like a first category, no? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
exactly.
not really train in that terrain, no? You didn't race, but training.
It's quite hard to train in the climbs because I live in the Netherlands, which
Yeah.
is not really hilly country. But yeah, when I'm back home, I try to train. But as well in Czechia, I'm from kind of flat part, so I'm not really familiar with these kind of terrains yet.
Okay. By the way, uh, being a man myself, I always have the reference of height weight ratios with the man. So, for example, a climber will be like around 60 kilos, over 70 kilos will be more a roller. But with the girls, it's always difficult for me. So, you say around 50 kilos. That's light for a girl, or you
Yeah,
will
I
say,
think so. I think it's light, but yeah,
huh? So then you could be a climber in the pro peloton
yeah,
in the future. Yeah, okay, okay.
technically.
Okay, it's good. Then, being maybe a good climber, what will be your favorite race?
My favorite race would be, I think, obviously Tour de France. That would be the biggest goal, I think. But also, like, my really favorite race is Ronde van Vlaanderen,
Hmm.
which is kind of in my heart. So if we talk about stage racing, then Tour de France, of course. But if we talk about one-day racing and classics, it's gonna be a Ronde.
Talking about Ronde, well, just before starting the interview, we told you were there last week, seeing the
Mhm.
parcours a little bit. So good experience for you, no? Or you already didn't know it?
I was there already like before because we did the junior races there. Also, I raced there as a U17. That was how I made it to the Netherlands. So I knew the terrain around. I knew like the parkers. I obviously watched on the TV, but this was totally different experience because I was able to watch the race. I was able to see a bit of a background of a team as well, and then train on the pretty much last 100K of the course, which was really good experience, I think, to the future.
Okay, so they let you go like in the car of the team and everything.
Actually, we weren't. I was in the car, but we were going around the parkour and like, yeah, watching the bottle posts and these things. So,
And it was your first time in the pro parcours, or the under 90s and under 70s also do the same parcours?
no, actually, we do a bit different. I think it's changing a bit every year, but we do just from the climbs we do just Wolvenberg, and then some other smaller climbs and one cobble section as a juniors. So it's not that hard and it's not that real experience. It's just a really Belgium Flemish experience. It's just narrow roads, a lot of turns, steep climbs, but not the cobbled climbs in the junior racing.
Right now, the women do the same parcours as the men, with the
Yeah,
finish it's the Quaremont and Paterberg, if I don't. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you watched the men race last Sunday. Spectacular with Pogacar also.
yeah. It was really spectacular. It's crazy. I'm speechless about him.
Hmm. The woman maybe a little bit more, how will say, like more late attack, no? In
Yeah,
the
yeah.
end.
I was expecting him to go a bit earlier. Not gonna lie.
Well, let's continue with the test. Next question is, okay, your favorite rider?
For me, it's Tadej Pogacar from the men, and from the women, I would say probably Lotte Kopecky.
Hmm. So the best riders, straight away.
Yeah, kind of.
And a Czech rider, maybe you were following? Oh, no.
I would, I wouldn't say so, but obviously in the past it was Zdeněk Stybar.
Hmm.
He was like the one I was really following and watching on TV. So
Because you started also doing cyclocross a lot, no?
yeah, yeah.
So you were watching Stibar in the cyclocross, or you are very young and you didn't watch him as a cyclocross rider?
I was watching him in the cyclocross as well.
Ah, yeah, okay. Good. Because with the young riders, you never know if they are too young to saw him. I think he stopped doing cyclocross like maybe 10 years ago, 15, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't watching him like in the live stream because I also don't do cycling that long. I started like 4 years ago, which is not that long to watch. So yeah, so I just didn't watch him in live, but I watch all the races in the past on YouTube most of the times with my dad. So
So you watch his old races. Oh, that's super cool. So like the World Championships against Sven Nys and all this.
yeah.
Oh, that's very cool, eh? Very cool. So, well, continue with okay. As a cyclist, what will be your favorite food? Well, you can tell me for training and also in normal life.
And I would say in normal life it would be spaghetti bolognese. I That's my go-to meal. But do you mean in a race like from like type of bars or like how do you mean that?
No, it's cool. It's cool. Spaghetti is cool.
Yeah,
Well, if,
okay.
if you prefer bars of gels, it will be good. But
Um, in the race, I would say gels, but in the training bars and also the ontbijtkoek, it's something really Netherlands type of thing. It's just like a little gingerbread we use on the training rides as well.
Okay, by the way, it's crazy that almost like 90% of the cyclists, their favorite food is pasta. Because not being a pro athlete myself, I see that you eat a lot of pasta, and I will think you are sick of pasta. But no, you like pasta, every one of you. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's like you can eat a lot of pasta in a different various.
Hmm.
So it's yeah, you I guess you never get bored of it.
And then, okay, what will be your favorite music?
Ooh, I don't know. I pretty much listen to everything. Um, yeah, I don't know. Before a race, maybe some hype up music like to get me energized, but in the meantime, I would say anything almost. I
Yeah,
don't have
like
specific style.
chill music for chill, maybe, no? A little bit more relaxed. Okay, well,
Yeah.
like everybody, a little bit of everything. Okay. And there is some artist or some song that you love especially?
I don't know. I wouldn't say so, actually. I'm really not specific in that kind of
Okay, okay. Eclectic then.
things.
So let's continue with the studies. Are you studying, or do you want to continue with university, or you want to full focus on the cycling?
I'm currently studying still a high school, and I still have 1 year left to study. And after, I would like to go to uni, but now in my head is a little bit of taking pause for 1 year or going straight away. But I would for sure want to go to uni.
Okay, that's cool. If not, like a lot of cyclists, you can take like study it a little more relaxed, no? Do a
Yeah.
little more years. Yeah, that's good, but it's good to continue studying, I think, a little bit. Okay, so now let's start talking about your cycling career. First of all, how did you begin with cycling, and how were your first years in the sport?
Yeah, so I was actually, it was during COVID because I played ice hockey for like 8 years. And then during COVID, we couldn't play inside. So I know my two cousins were cycling. So I kind of joined their trainings and I kind of like it, like the freedom, the racing, the technique. So I started with cyclocross a lot. I really liked it and just was just having fun. And then all the races shut down, so I was just like mainly having fun on the trainings, but still I was still like kind of attached to it. So then when the COVID stopped or like the yeah, when the regulations got a bit easier, then I started racing as well. And I know I showed up on the first races on road and I finished like in our national series I was on podium and I that time I remember I didn't even know like what's going on. I just I just like raced. I didn't know that you can have like a crisis or you don't need to have enough energy or something. So I was just like attacking and trying to race aggressively and it made me on podium. And I just like the peloton feeling, the like kind of the combination what hockey gave me, like the smartness in the race or like the attacks, the explosiveness, as well with the longer term of like power. So yeah, I just stick to cycling then.
Okay, so now you prefer maybe more the road than the cyclocross, no?
Yeah, yeah. I stopped with cyclocross last year. I didn't do any racing this winter.
And that first year competing in the Czech calendar and already taking results, it was like 2022 maybe.
Yeah, it was 2021, I think. I was
Okay,
U15 second year, I think.
so that year you already were in podiums, you said, but most of it you were like learning, no, the ropes a little bit, what to do.
Yeah.
And then we arrived to under 17, that is always a very important category to start getting some results so you can get a good junior team. How was the under 17 category for you?
I think for me it was still just fun. I didn't like kind of I wasn't focusing on like getting the best results. I was just like focusing more on having fun during the races and just learning as much as possible. I know that year I won my first race. It was with U15 boys in Slovakia. It was climby race, and then I could be like in the top group with the boys.
Mhm.
Um, so I was just able to race, and then I was kind of still just learning in the bunch how does it work, and I remember I wasn't training that much. Like my training was not really just like, just how it is now. It was totally different. It was more easy. It was almost no training. It was just like how I felt to go on the bike. Then I went. If not, then I didn't. So so it was, for some people it was a bit surprising because they kind of didn't expect that to happen, that I will win races. But I think that that learned me a bit how to ride in a bunch, how to use the power I have like smartly, how to not waste energy. And yeah, when we go to the second year, U17, I changed coach, I changed the team, and got first time ever I got like an individual training plan, which helped me a lot. It was something new. It was something really interesting to do. So yeah, my performance went up a bit as well. And yeah, in Czechia that time they changed the rules, so the U17 girls raced with U15 boys, which was really nice by my opinion, because then I could, I was riding in a big bunch, because in Czechia the bunches are not that big for the girls. So I could actually like race with the boys. It was fun. It was more, I would compare it to the world bunch of girls now. It was just kind of the same, because like you needed to battle for every position. You have to ride smart and everything. And then I just started competing with the boys for the podiums as well, which was really nice. And I got some really good results there as well. I got nominated for EOF the second time, because first time I was there as a U17 first year. And then the second time I went that year, which was not ideal because I was sick before, but also I didn't know if I will start. But then I did, because I just kind of believed that I will be ready for that. So I think that kind of happened. And I was able to do 12th place in TT, I think, and then fifth on a road race, or fourth, maybe fourth, I think. Which was a bit disappointed. I remember until now, I was kind of sad, but it was just like the first big race you lose for this much or something. But it was a good experience to be on such a event. I still remember I have good memories about that one. And also I did Ronde van Vlaanderen that year, which got me here. I was 10th, but I was riding like unaggressively, attacking a lot, and then I went solo as well. And yeah, it just got attention from the teams in the Netherlands and Belgium.
Okay, hey, super nice resume, very extensive. Uh, I will to ask some question about all you said. Sorry. So first of all, riding with the under 15s, the plan usually for you was to cross the line first, or it was more a strategic race, like you didn't have to beat the under 15 guys, just the other under 17 girls? How was that for you?
I don't know, because I've never really like I was never really focused on the strategy. Like I would say more, it was more like my instinct that was driving me in there. Like I wasn't like other girls, I would say, that took it like, oh, it's scary. But because also ice hockey, I played with the boys, so it was a bit familiar. So I just went like all in, just like automatically. I would be like, I'm gonna raise the boys, and then because that is what's gonna make me better. So I didn't pay attention to where the other girls were. I was just like trying to win the boys race as well.
Oh, okay. And did you win the boys sometimes?
I think I did once. Or like it was a sprint. It was a sprint in Slovakia with some Czech riders as well. And yeah, I crossed the finish line with the first boy of the U15 category and me, like next to each other, with the hands out of the bars celebrating. So I would say that one counts as a win.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
otherwise, I was like, I think I was on podium like twice or something.
Okay, that's cool. And you said your first under 17 year, you weren't really training that much, but you already had a coach, no? So you were already like in a planified training.
Um, Not really. I wasn't. I was
Ah,
just riding with my. We had a team basically. Also Czech riders, like the quite famous ones, were there. As Adam Salmon, he was in Devo team of DSM last year. So we were riding all together and just like I don't know, twice, 3 times per week. And I was just going there on the trainings and just like riding in a bunch, getting the skills, more or less.
okay, okay. And then the last question about your under 17 years is about the IOF. That is always a super nice course because it's the first big international course. And I remember what was your first time because from Spain, Paula Stiz was super good. And then I think the one that won it was Ferguson, that was also super strong. But the second time, your second year is more difficult for me to recall who won that race and how it was.
So I think Linda Sanarine won. Paula was second, and Maria Okruchinska was third, and I was fourth. And then the Greece girl was fifth. And we went into a breakaway in one of the last climbs, and then we just sprinted for the win. But I think like Paula attacked, then it was me and Maria following, and
Hmm.
then the Greece girl joined, and Linda was a bit behind, getting a little bit dropped, I think, that time. But then she come back and won the sprint.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's true because it was the second year also of Paula. Yeah, yeah. I forgot the years. It's your same year, of course. Okay, so now let's go for your first under 19 season with Watersley. I think it was a really, really, really consistent season with a lot of good results throughout the year. So, what will be your thoughts about it?
My first thought is actually opposite what you think, but for me, I think it was a bit up and down,
Hmm.
especially in the beginning of the season, because I went for the first racing. It was a bit like less time between cyclocross and road season. So, but on Binder I was fifth, and then I got sick. I got some lung infection or something. I don't really know. I don't really remember, but I know I was sick, and then it got like longer than expected. So on Borselay, I was like 1 week after antibiotics, so wasn't really prepared that good. And then I that was my first and only race I DNF'd. So that was a bit strange, and then I finally felt in form before nationals for the first time after Binda. So the sickness got like really long, I would say. But then after I was able to come back to some consistency, I think, which was a bit good, I would say.
Okay, but you were like maybe not super super good results, but before the nationals, you did like 13 in Tour du Gabardin. That is maybe the best race for a climber, and that was between the best of the world also.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But to be honest, I aimed for more.
Hmm.
But yeah, the body wasn't feeling that good that time.
Okay, so
And yeah, as I said, the first one, again, the first time I felt like really strong was the nationals.
so we got then the fifth in Binda, then a period without really that good feeling, then victory at the nationals, and then you have fifth at Vizcaya and sixth at Watersley, and then fifth at the Europeans, 15 at the Worlds. This is with the good girls again, no?
Yeah, yeah, obviously. Like I was kind of happy about the second part of the season because it became more consistent, and also the feeling was a bit more consistent than the first part of the season that was a bit up and down. And also I was kind of satisfied with the result, but also I was aiming for a win on some of the races. Would be nice, but that didn't happen. But I can tell that I learned a lot, especially on those first races in such a big and such a quality bunch. So
So yeah, not a UCI victory, just the nationals, but overall good results for a first year.
yeah,
And I think that puts you this year as one of the favorites for the victories in a lot of races.
yeah.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I feel the same.
Okay, so then how was your training this winter and how do you feel with the start of the season?
So my training in the winter was totally different than the seasons before because I didn't do any cyclocross. So I was more focusing on getting the right base. I spent a lot of days in Spain as well with the team, then alone with my friends. So it was really good, I would say, also with the national team. And so I get really good quality training there. Um, and yeah, then we went to the first part of the season and I was feeling really good, really strong. Yeah, on Binda, we had 1-2 with the team, which was pretty amazing. I was really happy about the performance of the team. Then I was helping to our team as well to get those results. So yeah, my feeling overall is pretty good because I felt good during the races and I could race how I wanted pretty much for the first races.
Yeah, because in Binda, the performance of your team was awesome. Like 1-2, and then some girls like you or Okruchinska were in the bunch. I think like stopping the others, no? So overall, very, very, very good feelings for the rest of the season. And then I think maybe the girls under 19 start a little bit slow the season. So right now, not much racing, but soon you are going to start all the races, no?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's a bit strange because there is some bad situation in Netherlands about the police. So some races are getting cancelled. So which is not good, such as Borselay Nations Cup, which is not going to happen. Which is a bit pity, but yeah, we are trying to find some other solutions and racing. I will be now racing in Netherlands and Belgium on the smaller races, and then it all starts next month with the big ones as Gévaudan, Ronde van Vlaanderen, and then we continue with Biscay and the other races.
Yeah, and for you, maybe Borsal is more for a sprinter. Maybe you are more a climber. Gebadang will be a good objective, no?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. And as well, I see Ronde van Vlaanderen as a good opportunity.
So then, what's your biggest goal of the season for you?
So I would say to win one of the Nations Cups as well, and and to aim for the wins and to be the rider to be seen in the races in a good shape, like this and being there consistently, I would say.
So not a
And
single objective, more consistency all over the year.
I would like to just put a consistent, like, good performances, so the win will come from that,
Okay.
hopefully.
Then what about the wars? Are you going to go, or is the Czech Republic going to go?
Yeah, the Czechia is going to Rwanda. If it's going to happen, then we are going for sure. But I'm not sure still about if I'm selected or not. I probably am, and if I am, then I'll go, and we'll see because it's still quite far from now. So there can be anything happening, but for now, we're gonna go to Worlds in Rwanda.
Like being in Africa is obviously very difficult to go there first and see how it is, but on paper is very good parcours for you, no?
Yeah, I think so. But also, I think there is a lot of things to take in count, which is also the altitude, the race time, because there are speculations that we're gonna start at really early because of the temperatures
Hmm.
and a lot of other factors. So yeah, we'll see. But for now, it's also a main goal, I would say.
So maybe you should do like an altitude training, or is very soon. Ah, for you it's good to do already one for the works. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I still don't know. It's pretty far, so
Yeah.
so we'll
Okay.
see. Like, for now, it's not even like that much. There are still some questions if it's
Yeah.
gonna be in Rwanda. So for now, I'm a bit not taking any decision now and just waiting for what will happen.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good approach. Then you don't get nervous about it and just flow. Okay. So then I will want to ask you also about other riders for your country that I think they are very promising. two first years that are Chermanova and Bukovska. What
Mhm.
you will say about them and how you will describe them? You raced a lot with them, no?
I did. I didn't race that much with Bukowska because she's more mountain biker and a cyclocross rider. I raced with her in the past, but since that, I think she made a really big step, and she's obviously one of the strongest riders in our country. And I was pretty happy to see her like being seen in a cyclocross, being on the podiums, bringing a bit again the Czechia up. And I think overall our country is a bit underestimated in cycling. Like in the past, we had really good cyclocross riders, also road riders, but then it got all a bit quiet. But now it's coming back again. Like also, if you see in a pro bunch, it's Matthias Vacek or Pavel Bittner, like we are seen, and also in the junior categories. I think if you look into our juniors, it's like something that is not speaking that much about, but then also we got the medal last year on Euros with Stepanka Dubcová, and I think all of like there is a lot of talented riders in Czechia, but they just don't get the opportunities to show it because our federation doesn't have that much money to show it. So I was pretty happy when I heard that Antonia is going to Belgium team because now she have the opportunity to show. She's a really really nice girl and she's one of my close friends as well. Yeah, obviously she's really strong. Her like raw power is really strong. So I'm pretty happy what I see in like happening or how many good juniors we have in Czechia and that the future might be bright.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Also, like you said, with the guys, last season it was Sam Pique doing a lot of good results also. So yeah, I think it's a bright future, yeah, with you and the
Yeah.
other girls. So well, that will be all for the interview. I think. Anything more you would like to say, or Nana?
No, nothing. I think we've discussed pretty much everything.
We discuss a lot. Okay, so thank you very much for being here, and maybe we do another in the future talking about results. That will be all.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting once more.